Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of the Ashton Gate 8. For some reason, I started getting my episode count wrong. I think it might have been that one episode where where the recording messed up because I didn't have this pulled all the way down, so it was all muted. But yeah, we've skipped ahead. We've done the summer transfer window. We've played about a month into the season, and the reason for that was I thought if I just do another video where we do a transfer window and I show you who I'm thinking of signing, and then we do one game, it'd be a little bit naff. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about the transfers out, wanted to talk about the transfers in, the reasons for those transfers, and then I wanted to show you via results and sort of any sort of data and statistics what the thought was behind them and if they worked or not. And we'll get straight into it then. You'll see we are currently third in the championship after 4 games played, 3 wins, 1 loss, a +9 goal difference, and it leaves us on 9 points. The one loss came to Hull, a 2-1 loss to them, which is quite frustrating, but nonetheless, it happens. It's a team in transition. There's been a lot of movement. You may see on the screen here 1 or 2 of those players who have come in. You may have seen from the thumbnail, it's titled Premier League signings. Bit misleading for those who maybe haven't watched the previous episodes, because obviously we're not in the Premier League. But what I think we've done is we've managed to strengthen and bring in some Premier League quality players. So let's talk about the outs then. Obviously, you will probably be able to see on the left, but let's just focus. Everybody focus this week, please. So we made £2.2 million worth in transfers. We lost Naki Wells and Ewan Clark on frees, and then a lot of loans. Elijah Morrison, someone who we highlighted in one of the previous videos, if he can get his pace up, will be a very good player. Tom Bayliss went out on loan. Aaron Maguire, who was a free signing in, has gone straight back out on loan. Rob Atkinson out on a free. Ethan Williams out on loan to Tranmere, who are now our affiliate club. A good player, Man United youth prospect. Very good. He just needs to get a couple of the technicals up and maybe a bit like his decisions. If he got them up to maybe 10s, he'd be very, very good for this level. Ross McCrory out on loan, Liam Cullen out permanently, George Tanner out on a free, Anis Metmedi to Preston, 1.1 million. Preston, who very, very, very nearly got relegated. Raekwon Nelson out on loan, and that's a bit of a strange one because obviously Raekwon Nelson is part of the Ashton Gate 8, but you'll see why in a minute. I thought it was best for him to go out and basically play a full season. He's gone down to League One to Reading and is actually, if I remember correctly, doing quite well. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist in 2 appearances for them, 1 off the bench and 1 starting. Glenn Ray out on a permanent deal for 475k, as well as Lewis Guillermo out for 325k, and Eunice Akanrich out on loan to Maidstone. Ephraim Yeboah out on loan to Wigan, getting more first team experience. Again, there's reasons why. I'm going to show you that in a second. But into the signings then. Obviously, you saw Ronald in one of the previous episodes. He was a free transfer that came in. He was signed. He wasn't a free transfer. He was... Oh, no, he was a free transfer. He was signed by our director of football, Brian Tinian. Has got a bit of potential about him. Is also quite highly valued. So he might be one of those ones that we bring in and sell, and that was one of the board objectives at the start of the season. And then we spoke about wanting the middle of the park to be a bit better, a bit more technical, maybe have a bit about it. We brought in Lewis Warrington on a free from Everton. We had a little look, and he played 25 games for Plymouth last year and finished on a 6.77. Obviously, I mean, if we look at last year's table, why can't I see last year's table? Am I being silly? Okay. I'm pretty confident you used to be able to see. I'm pretty confident you used to be able to see the previous season. What the hell? Am I just being daft and just not clocking it? I'm positive you used to just be able to see past positions and where they were. Here we go. Jesus tonight. Obviously, Plymouth finished 11th last season. So for a team that had just been promoted, it made sense to go and have a little look at sort of anyone who was in and around them if they were available for transfer. And Lewis Warrington was one of them. Came in on a free from Everton, can play as a centre midfielder if we want to move up to that, but is also natural as a DM. Obviously, we play with DMs. He can play as a ball winner. He can play as pretty much any position as a DM. So we are playing him primarily as the defensive midfielder. Good first touch, good marking, good passing and tackling, good technique, good, very, very good work rate. He's a runner, good vision, really good flair, really good determination. His decisions and whatnot aren't amazing, but if you look about it, he's got about a star's worth of growth left to do. Again, if he can get a couple of these like 12s to 13s, 13s to 14s and whatnot, I just think he's a solid little player. He has started all 3 games this season. 6.87 average rating. I can't really complain. But I can complain really about Kasim Adams. He seems to be one of the ones that the scouts got wrong. He's ended up down in the under-21s, but that is more so because we brought a lot of better players in. But I think the money we brought him when he was free, he was playing for Hoffenheim, and I brought him in basically because he was free. And this sort of triggered something in my brain about the recruitment we were doing and that maybe it wasn't good enough. Maybe we were just signing players for the sake of signing players and not really ones who'd fit in. But he knows he's a squad player, so he's not kicking off. But he's not really better than anything we've got. We'll probably play a couple of the cup games, but at the minute he's playing down in the under-21s. And then next in then a signing I'm quite happy with, it's Pelle Ruddock on a free from Luton. Obviously, they were in the Premier League last year. He hardly played. He had 8 appearances, 6.5 average rating. You can see he's coming to us, scored a goal and a 7.3, and it was an absolute banger of a goal as well. But again, can play DM, can play centre mid. As a DM, we play him as a ball winning midfielder on support. He likes to shoot from distance, gets the crowd going, runs the ball often, and you can see he is a runner. He's got legs, he's strong, he's quite quick, and he's not tall, but he's good in the air with 10 jumping, reaching, 9 heading. Really good long shots, really good first touch and dribbling, decent flair, really good determination. You can just see he made sense to bring in. 15 grand a week is not an awful lot for what we're paying most of our squad at the minute. But a free transfer, Pelle Ruddock come in. And then Dele Alli. Now, Dele's a strange one because they nerfed him, then they buffed him, then obviously all the stuff come out about him going through what he went through, which was absolutely disgusting. But what he went through as a young lad and sort of in his career. And he was available on a free. He didn't really set the world alight at Everton on a 6.62. But I thought, you know what? It's a player of Dele's quality and it allows us, we always say we need some technical players. We don't have a natural number 10. I thought it was worth the punt. Gets forward whenever possible, winds up opponents, tries to play as well to trouble and tries tricks. He was signed before we sort of thought maybe we're signing the wrong type of player. But I'm happy with the start. 6.65 isn't amazing. It's really, really not. He is playing in the number 10 role as like an attacking midfield support, but only when we play the 4-2-3-1. We have now decided that the 4-2-3-1 is the away tactic and the 4-2-4 is the home tactic. So he only really plays the away games. He's not featured at Ashton Gate yet. I just like him. He offers us something different. He allows us to play through the lines rather than just playing it long and direct. Which is not a bad thing. He can tackle. He's maybe not got the legs or the work rate, but he's a good foil. He's a very, very good foil player. And then next in was Nathan Trott on a free. This was actually my director of football signing. You'd have seen in one of the last videos, we did bring in Arthur Okonkwo on a free, but we also brought in Nathan Trott on a free. Didn't perform at all over in Denmark. He is absolutely one that we will literally just sign and sell on. He's the backup at the minute. Arthur Okonkwo is a bit younger. We've been trying to loan him out. He doesn't want to leave. It's very frustrating. He's turned down like 10 loan offers, but it is what it is. And Aaron Maguire, who you saw earlier, brought in on a free from Tottenham. And then another very, very good signing, a bit of an outlay, 1.8 million, but I feel like he's already paying it back. And it's Dango Utara from Bournemouth. He's come in, he's played 3 games, 2 games start and 1 off the bench, and scored 3 goals. He has been very, very good. He's probably too good for us, and this is why Raekwon Nelson went out. But he was one of the sort of the first ones where I thought we need to we need to change what we're doing, and we need to bring in players that have been performing and maybe are slightly undervalued. Maybe not Moneyball, maybe not sort of that hardcore, because I'm not really looking at their stats, and I can do, but I'm not looking at the statistics. I'm more looking at the player, what the report is saying. The only issue that they're saying with him is that he doesn't like heading the ball, and he's finding it hard to adapt, but he handles himself professionally. Good big matches, consistent performer, plays in a couple of positions, great pace, he does. Great ability to dribble, makes him a difficult opponent to come up against. And it's true, and it's worked. And you know what? We looked at him. He was listed for loan. He only played 12 games last season, got a 6.75 in the division above in the Premier League, where Bournemouth, who managed to... I've done it again. I've forgot how you get there. Season preview, stages. There we go. Bournemouth, who last season finished in the Conference League places. So he can't be bad. He cannot be bad. I mean, Bournemouth, if you look at the players that they've got out on the wings, they've got Traore, Hamad Traore, and David Brooks. They've also brought in Jacob Murphy, Justin Kluivert is there, Joe Rotta can play out wide. They've basically, Tavernier, another one we did look at, but he wanted too much money. Gaultier Ott, we looked at ourselves as now available for loan. That's quite interesting. But he ends up going there. So it made sense to bring him in, and he set the world alight. He's basically the starter out on that right-hand side now, which is what allowed Raekwon Nelson to go out and get that first-team football. It allows Nelson to develop. It allows us to progress as a team. It allows us to be more competent. He's more technical. He's not just like a raw out-and-out winger. He's got a bit about him. Good technique, good passing, good vision, good flair, good determination. It made sense. It really did make sense. And then another one who we brought in based on how he performed the previous season, and someone who provides us cover. He's a versatile player. He can play either flank as a left wing back, right wing back, or right back or left back. It is Kane Kessler Hayden. Ironically, is more natural as a left back. You can see he's better as a left wing back than he is right. Gets forward if possible, runs with the ball. He played again for Plymouth last season and got a 6.87 average rating with 3 assists. I needed the cover, really, at left back, because not that we can't rely on Charlie Frith, but similarly to Raekwon Nelson, I thought we're probably pushing him too hard if we throw him straight in the first team. So he's come in. It's a cheap loan deal. There's no loan fee. We are paying his wages of only 1.5k per week. Very quick. Again, quite technical. He's good, really, with either foot. It's saying his preferred foot is right, but he is okay on his left. And he's come in, he's done well. 1 game start and 1 game off the bench and 1 assist in his time here. It made sense. He's got a lot of room to grow, and players like this that you can bring in. I mean, his contract expires in 2 years' time. There's a potential that in 2 years' time he might want to play for us. But he and Dango Utara sort of fit the mould I'm looking for. Again, maybe not Moneyball, but the idea is sort of around that, where we find players in their early 20s, where they've had a couple of seasons or a season behind them, where there's some sort of underlying thing to look at, that they're performing well and that they have performed well. Maybe a little bit undervalued. A free loan deal for somebody of his quality is good. 1.8 million for Dango Utara, who was only 22, is good. And again, it makes more sense. And this is why we brought in the next guy, in Anthony de Coste, who is a 21-year-old Belgian. Ignore the determination. He is in a mentoring group. He came in for 3 million from FC Utrecht, where he is actually a Charleroi player, but he's been sort of in and out alone at Utrecht for 2 seasons. But in the Eredivisie last season, he scored 11 goals and got 2 assists and a 6.85 average rating. 3 million, it made sense. It's not a massive outlay. He's got a lot of potential about him. Not too dissimilar to Tommy Conway in the attributes. 21. By the time he's 24, 25, what's he going to look like? Can we develop him? Can we train him? He's decent. He's quick. He's strong. He can pass a ball. He's got very good off-the-ball movements. His composure's okay. He's a good dribbler. He's a good finisher with a bit of technique about him. The problem we have with him is that he is quite injury-prone. So he's at an increased risk as a part of an overall medical assessment. He doesn't have any recurring injuries, but we're concerned about the current training workload. So the problem we've got with him is that even on half intensity, they're saying it's a bit of a heavy workload. But I just thought he's 3 mil. The strikers we were looking at, and we did sign one who I'll have a look at in a second on loan, but the strikers we were looking at 6, 7, 8, 9 million. Thought we can't afford that. So if we can get him in, if he's a dud, he's a dud. We sell him on. We maybe make half a 1.5 mil loss on him. If he comes good, it makes sense. He's our player. He's better up front than Sam Bell is. He's potentially as good as Tommy Conway could be. You see what I'm saying? He performed well last season. He was a cheap fee. We can develop him and mould him how we want. It makes sense. And the next in, again, this is on a free transfer. It is Paolo Maldini's son, Daniel Maldini, who, again, if you look, only 8 appearances for Empoli, but a 6.7 you consider quite average. But he didn't play a lot, so it's not a massive outlay. I couldn't see sort of what he was doing. But again, an attacking midfielder who can play across all 4 attacking slots, to be fair. They were also telling me to train him as a striker. If we look at his report, the only problem is he's not comfortable in big matches. But for those sort of little matches against the likes of Plymouth and teams like that, Swansea, who were down there last season, any cup games, it makes sense. It offers us something different to what we've had before. But again, it was a free transfer. If anything, we can just sell him on. He's only 22 years of age. He can still develop slightly. Too good for this level, really. It's more his attitude and that's going to get let him down. And then Jack Hinchell would come in on a loan deal from Brighton. This was not my signing. This was Brian Tignon's signing. We have also always said that we will let Brian Tignon do as he must. 29 appearances for Sheffield Wednesday, young lads, 6.77 average rating, has come in to us, played one off the bench, started one, can play naturally as a DM, can play centre back, can play centre midfield. Again, sort of fits what we were looking for. And then that leads us back to the back end of last season, where obviously we would have signed a lot of players on a free and then released a lot of players, sold a lot of players. More players went out and come in. 13.25 million overall was made. So you will have a little look. We lost Backwell, Leeson, Duncan, Bayless went on loan, Kadji went on loan, James Joseph on a free. Who else did we lose? Tim Apsion, Billy Phillips, Brandon Back, Marley Francois, 5.75 mil for Jesse Lingard. I thought that was a good deal. He wasn't performing. Of course, goes to Sunderland and scores on his debut. Cal Naismith, 1 million up front to Watford, was never playing for us. Legs had gone. Good player, but not for me. Birmingham come in for Zach Viner. Again, we spoke about the defenders we brought in and that Zach Viner would not be making it. Finally got rid of Max O'Leary. He's gone. 450k, accepted the first offer. And Suleiman Dumbia, who we brought in on a free, went to Plymouth for 1.6 million. And then obviously we brought in Kessler Hayden. That to me made sense. We give them our backup player. We took their player that they had on loan, a young lad with a lot of potential. It made sense to me. So only really 2 first teamers to talk about, the ones who come in the back end of the last season. Obviously, we signed a Conquo for 8k. Berry, Williams, Rosiak, Canrich, a lot of young players on a free. Osman Kamara, one of them. He's already improving. He looks very, very good. And then Andrew Moran came in on a loan deal. Again, we're not paying anything. We're paying his wages, I believe. What's his loan contract? No, we're not even paying his wages. He's a free loan deal. Offers us something different. If you look at the difference between him and Delhi, he will run with the ball more. He'll cut inside from the wings if he's out there, and he'll get forward a bit more, whereas Delhi's more sort of, he will get in the box, but he's more reserved. Moran has come in, 2 games, 2 goals. He's performing very, very well. He played left wing in one of the games, both games in the Championship. But you can see the idea behind it is that we're signing players that, although they may be playing in similar positions, they offer something different. Similar again, 20 years of age, played for Blackburn last season, 16 goals and 6 assists, a 7.07 average rating. This is the type of sign we want to make. If we can ever sign these players permanently for quite cheap, it makes sense. But this is the type of player we want. Young, a bit of potential, maybe undervalued. Can we get them? Can we get them on a free loan while we're in the Championship? If not, can we get them quite cheap? it makes total sense. He's a very, very good player. And next in then it was Tom Cannon, who is basically just poacher foil. We are paying, if we don't use him, we're paying 250k monthly, which is very annoying. So he basically has to play, or at least come on in every game. My director of football signed him. I like Tom Cannon. Obviously, being an Everton fan, I know of Tom Cannon and what he possesses. He went to Leicester in real life for 7 mil, but had a bit of an injury, so hasn't really featured for them so much in real life. Only played 2 appearances there in the game. It makes sense. He's a poacher. We play with a poacher. Can play as an advanced forward. Quite tall. A good player. Again, he's on quite a hefty wage. We're paying it, and we're not paying anything other than if he doesn't play, which is very, very frustrating. He's played 18% of the minutes this month. It's a hefty outlay, but it means we've actually got some sort of foil, some sort of cover. You can see he actually started the last game. This is how he started against Hull. 6.83, scored 1 goal. It makes sense. You can see what we're doing. We're trying to spread the goals out. We don't want to rely so heavily on one. The squad is quite bloated at the minute. Obviously, we've still got the young lads knocking about in here for mentoring purposes. And someone like Ronald Jones, we promoted to the under-21s, as well as Charlie Frith. They're both playing under-21s football, as is, where is he? Under-21s, Trevor Grinsell. What a player. What a player. What did they say about him? He can become better than Jason Knight. Jason Knight's now basically like the backup centre mid. Yeah, Trevor Grinsell, come through the academy, 16 years of age, is already developing, is playing under-21s football, is starting every game. His form is not great. It's not going to be great. He's only 16. He's trying. He's getting there. He's playing as a ball winner or a DM. We try and make him play as the ball winner. If you can see, when he plays DM, he tends to come off. When he plays ball winner, he tends to stay on. He's a ball winner midfielder in that position. He's not a defensive midfielder at all. But developing, it's good. I mean, he's developed a couple of traits, tries long range passes and gets forward whenever possible. Get him up the pitch, let him pass the ball about. Got good passing, got good vision, good technique. He's definitely going to be one for the first team soon. What's Lewis Martin's chatting? Just these, yeah. Ones to watch, could become star. Michael Rosiak is training as a right winger because we don't have any right wingers in under 21, so he's playing out there. Osman Kamara, Ad Aslan, who is the mercenary, is performing very well as well. So yeah, it's been working. We have got some games. We've got a game to play against Coventry in 3 days' time. They're quite low down the table. They've not had a good start to the season at all. They didn't finish well under Mark Robbins as well. He very nearly got sacked. Obviously, they've got quite a big, tall, lengthy team. Ellis Sims, former Everton player. Bidwell, another former Everton player. A lot of tall players. Mads Anderson, they got on a free from Luton, is a very, very good signing. Haji Wright, thankfully, is injured. Sokram Mustafi's there. So we're gonna live com the game against Coventry. Maybe we'll get the Southampton game in. It depends. It depends how we get on. But I wanted to show you sort of how we're adapting the team and how the 4-2-3-1 is working away from home. The one issue we do have is that Tommy Conway is asking for a new contract. He's asking for 40 grand a week. He's turned down 2 contract offers now. If we look at the finances, we can't spend much more. I mean, 556, it still won't push. So I've got an issue. I can try and resolve it. He wants to renew. Should look past what happened. He's very interested in saying, but if we enter the contract negotiations, he's on 22 grand a week as it is. We only gave him a new contract last year. He wants 30 grand, but then all sorts of mad add-ons. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. Don't mind that. Let's remove that and that. Fine. See, he just wants too much. If he plays 5 games for Scotland, he wants to go to 42k. We're going to agree on that, but keep an eye on that one. Although he is part of like the favoured personnel of the team and is considered sort of the main Ashton Gate 8 player. If he wants too much money and he wants He wants too much, essentially. If he wants too much and he's going to keep kicking off about it, we will let him go. He's got a release clause in there. It is what it is. It's not that I want to let him go, not at all. But if he's set on being a dickhead, basically, if he's set on being a dickhead, tell you what, we're going to start Kessler Hayden today. Oh, I didn't show you Estrada, did I? Sorry, Estrada come in. He's another one of. Sorry, I've just noticed him in the team there. He's another one who come in. He was recommended by one of our new scouts. Our new scout, who has his own scout and assignment, is actually Liverpool's director of football. I can't remember his name. Next one, Julian Ward, Liverpool's director of football in real life. Came in £975 per week, which I thought was insane. Look at all these. Look at every bit of knowledge he's got. He'll probably eventually become our director of football, but his scouting assignment came through with him. And again, Juan Estrada, if you look at him, a 7.11 for Olympia last season, 2 goals, 5 assists, a centre-back who can also play DM. It made total sense. He can smash a ball as well. Former Wolves player, Austrian, so he got a work permit instantly. It makes sense. 1.3 mil. He's got a start of potential ability in him. He's a very, very good player, and he started the season well. But we do keep Roberts in there as sort of the starter for now. You know, it is his thing. Simon Lingbo has started the season well, a 7.05 average rating. Gabaman's not been too good, and I'm kind of concerned about that. Let's take Knight out of there. You can see we've got a lot of rotation options now. We've got a lot of rotation options. Delhi's not quite fit, is he? Okay, we'll leave Delhi out, but we'll start like this. Cozy Dewberry on the left. No, we want him as a winger cutting in, really, don't we? So Cozy Dewberry on the left. Kessler playing as left wing back. We will start Hinshelwood today and give him a go. Timo Horn is now fully fit. Daniel Maldini can start, but we need to sacrifice someone here. We're going to sacrifice Rob Dickie. Oh, sorry, Rob. Moran on the bench. Delhi not quite fit. Do we need another right back? No, we don't. I'm sorry, Emil. We don't need you. We'll put Pelly Ruddock in there. So, here's your lineup. Conway, Cozy Dewberry, Maldini, Utara, Gabaman, Hinshelwood, Kessler, Hayden, Roberts, Ueda, and Lingbo. So this is the type of game we do want to play Daniel Maldini in. It's against the team who are near the bottom of the table, haven't started well. We have started well. He doesn't have to do too much. He doesn't have to think about too much. He just needs to come in, play his natural game. Midfielders, there's no pressure on you. Attackers, I have faith in you. And hopefully he rewards us, Tommy Conway. He's started the season quite well. 3 goals, I believe he's on. Him and Utara both on 3. As we get underway. They're really struggling, Coventry. So a loss here would mean back-to-back losses at the start of the season, which wouldn't be amazing. Timo Horn prevents the corner. And it's Burrows. We've not changed the tactical setup. We are still being pigs. We are still lumping it forward as much as we can and getting it wide and quickly. But it makes sense because they're the type of players we've got. We've got quick players. We've got good wide players. We've got players who can cross a ball. Dango Utara, obviously, is just, look at him. He's fantastic for this level. He's too good for this level. He shouldn't really be down here, but he is. And the game is lagging no end. Kessler Hayden to Maldini. Into Tommy Conway. What a ball by Maldini! And Tommy Conway, he normally finishes them. He's put it straight at Scott Wilson, but we have got a corner which Lingbo normally takes. It's Maldini. Good set piece taker then, Maldini. As he whips one in, Gabaman's there, it's headed away. Not a lot's happening, but we have got a bit of possession. Ueda has cemented himself as like the first choice centre-back. He's been brilliant. As Kessler Hayden drives in, finds Daniel Maldini again, and the Italian's gone for it. Good effort by Maldini. Victor Malejo has scored for Preston. He's someone we tried to bring in before we got Dango Utara. He was a free transfer. He performed very, very well out in the second tier of Spain. I can't remember who he was playing for. think it was Elche, but he was playing very, very well at the back end of last season. So we were scouting him for a little while. Came in on trial, but then eventually went to Preston. As Burrows whips it in, looking for Ellis Sims, it's headed away. Cozy Dubry gets it on. Shafe to Kitching now, then Ewick. Chase him down. He's looking for Sims again. He's won his header. We're performing okay, but this is the problem, is that we like playing like the away team, but teams are basically like onto that now. They essentially let us have a lot of the ball, which is why I think when we're away from home, we need to play the 4-2-3-1 and have someone a bit more creative and someone who can break the lines in the centre attacking midfielder. Kessler Hayden's broken the line with a good ball, and again, Scott Wilson has to tip it over the bar. But you can see, look, the three no-nonsense centre-backs, they're basically just pigging it up more than we do. So we need, like, creative players. Maldini's on a 7.1. Kessler Hayden's on a 7. You can see what I'm trying to say. Dango's not playing well. As he's whipped it in, it's headed away. Gabaman's there again. Kessler Hayden with an effort. Simon Lingbo! Oh, the Filipino! Good effort from the right back. I must apologise for the frame rate in this video. It's dropping like no end. Maldini's corner, that's a better one. Ueda! Nyamichi Ueda on the half volley. 1-0 Bristol. We've broken the deadlock, which means Coventry will probably have to come at us a little bit more. But you can see Maldini whips another dangerous ball in. Gabaman doesn't win his header. It comes down to Ueda, whose volley actually takes a massive deflection off Matt Godden. Hits the underside of the bar and goes in. Shameless from Ueda, really. And Kessler Hayden is slowly making his way over to take this throw in. He's found Maldini on the turn to Gabaman, who's rattled the crossbar. Jean-Philippe Gabaman, good effort. Kessler Hayden, Maldini, Hinchelwood. You can see why. What a ball. Dango. You are not performing, are you? But you can see what we're trying to do when we're away from home. We're still playing direct, we're still playing quick, we're still attacking people as much as we can. And Tommy Conway's not performed either as well, you know. But we've got a bit more control, so we definitely need the technical players in and around the team. There's Van Ewick now to Anderson. Playing quite well here, Coventry. Mustafi. Can we squeeze them out? Roberts with a tackle, forces them back. Bear to Anderson. Cutting back again. Conway is... He's struggling out there, Tommy Conway. Not like him. And knocking it around really well, Coventry. They slip it into Sims. There's a ball through to Burrows. And there's a chance for Burrows, and Timo Horn has to make a save. That was lovely football. Can they capitalise off the set piece? It's Callum O'Hare, who we nearly brought in on a free. Very nearly. Before he signed that new deal. And Maldini draws the free kick. Good play, Daniel. So Simon Lingbo to Ueda. Can we get another before half-time, which will effectively kill the game? Or are we fannying? Kessler Hayden, driving forward, finds Cozy Dubry, Hinchelwood. Nice play. Terrible pass from Jack Hinchelwood. And Lingbo's got to get back to Burrows. And Lingbo dives in as Godden wins his header. I don't think Hinchelwood's performed at all. Dango, Hinchelwood, and Conway are really struggling. And it's a goal from Nyamichi Ueda, which puts us in the lead so far. Need to find another gear. Hinchelwood's going to come off. We will bring Lewis Warrington on. Tommy Conway, you've not performed, lad. You're coming off. And Dango's not performed either. So we will... Yeah, we'll give Ronald a run out. Obviously, we do have a couple of more options off the bench there if need be. Disappointed in Dango there. they say he's consistent, but he was really poor. Really, really poor. Ronald is a player who could be brilliant. Whether he's got it in him is another thing. These are the types of games we need to test out players like Ronald and Yaruki in, just to see how they get on. Here's Maldini, short to Tom Cannon. It looked like he tried to get that across the box to Ronald. Here's Ueda. Sticking with the highlights as Lingbo's found the Brazilian again. Back to Ueda. Lingbo. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. As Ronald plays, why is he shot? Kessler Hayden on the volley. He had Tom Cannon in the middle. He had Tom Cannon all sorts of free in the middle, Ronald. We are just going to change it up. Ronald is right-footed, so we'll get him out there as the inverted winger and put Cozy Dubry as his preferred. Look at that. 3.5 star there. His preferred right wing role as it's whipped in. And Bamman's header! And Tom Cannon's at the back post. His second of the season. This is why we took him. We needed a like for like, really, a proper like for like poacher, and that's what Tom Cannon is. He's hit the back post off Jean-Philippe Gbamin's header. Yes, we will make those changes. Thank you. A 2-0 lead against Coventry. Intercepted by Ronald. Now Maldini. Maldini's had a great game. Warrington, this is what he does. Look at that, driving forward. Nice technical footballer, Lewis Warrington. It's a fantastic run. Lewis Warrington all the way! He's hit the post! Oh! Lewis! Oh! He offers us something different. My whole plan for this season was better runners, better or more physical players. Someone like Pelly Ruddock makes sense to that, but better runners, more technical players, and more pigs, basically. Someone who, yes, Timo Horn, players who will run into the ground all day and will throw a foot in. And you've just seen it there. That was brilliant from Lewis Warrington. O'Hare's corner, headed away by Ueda. Kanu on it. O'Hare, Timo Horn takes. We're going to look to make some subs now. Lingbo's looking quite tired, whereas Kessler Hayden is looking nice and fresh. So I'm thinking we bring Kessler Hayden on at right back and we bring Cameron Pring off the bench. Look, we've got so many options now. Gbamin is having a good game, maybe not as fit. Maldini and Cozy Dubry are struggling, but Maldini's playing the best. So I'm going to bring Andrew Moran on the right-hand side. And again, it offers us something more. I think everyone we've signed offers us something different. If it's not something different, it's like for like. The fact that we've not had to bring Sam Bell on here and that we've had the capability to bring Tommy Conway off to A, rest him, and B, because he weren't performing. It's just something we didn't have last year. And if you watched the playoff final, when it got to extra time against Leicester, we were absolutely knackered. So we need that. We need options. We need rotation options. It's all been quite clever, I think. The recruitment's been quite clever. Maybe one or two that we probably rushed into. Other than that, though, I think we've been pretty spot on in the transfer market. Right, Kessler Hayden with the throw into Gbamin. Switches it across to Cameron Pring. Good first time ball out wide. It's headed away. And Warrington, you can see we will still pig it up. We will kick it to the big men. We will go long. But we do this a lot. We play it through the channels. We play it through the lines. We play nice football as Ronald has found Maldini. And it's a chance for Alex Moran. And it's pushed wide for another corner, which will be taken by Cameron Pring. He scored already this season off a corner. Headed away. Moran back to Pring. Driving at them. Finds Gbamin. Now Moran. His cross is blocked, and it's another throw-in. We've nullified them to very, very little. 3 shots on target, a 0.47 XG. We've had a 2.7 XG, 15 shots, 9 on target. We're the better team. We're in control. We're passing the ball well. We're making chances. We're scoring our chances. Very, very, very good performance so far. And the time is just ticking away, and I think we're just controlling the game and seeing it out, and I've got no issues with that. I say that now. Shafe's going to score. It's blocked by Gulbaman. That Warrington goal, the one where he hit the post, that would have been the absolute goal of the season. That was sun run. Callum O'Hare looks to find a blue shirt off the corner. Naimichi Ueda says no. And Cannon deals with it well. We scored 2 goals off set pieces. We are still absolute pigs, aren't we? Burrows closed down by Kessler Hayden. Goes back to Mustafi. Now Shafe. Josh Eccles on the right-hand side. What can he do that he's gone back? Whips it in for Kanu. And it had to be saved by Timo Horn. Again, Timo Horn, man. What a goalkeeper. What a goalkeeper. Moran whips it in. That should be the end of the game once it's gone out. If not, it might let us take it and then end the game. It's going to be taken by Pring. Take his time. He should do anyway. Yeah, he does. Look, he's decided not to throw that. Cameron Pring, and there it is. He's going to walk off with the ball. It is now. So a 2-0 victory away to Coventry puts us back in winning ways. No one really underperforming. A few players slightly below average. Daniel Maldini performing exceptionally in that game. So yeah, hopefully you got to see it with your eyes, and I've got the data to back it up. I've got stats. Dog's just done a big stretch, right, mate? Big stretch there, yeah. But hopefully you got to see sort of what I'm thinking and what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. And again, the are huge. We score a lot of goals, a lot of high scoring, non-penalty goals. Defensively, quiet and impenetrable defence. The ball's not at our defence long enough for people to penetrate us, basically. A lot of XG in the last match. Timo Horn is a fantastic goalkeeper. Doesn't need to pass the ball. The attacking efficiency, aggressive shooting, maybe not as much shots as other teams, but we're very clinical. We're the most clinical scorers in the league. You look at this. We don't pass as much. We don't need to tackle as much, but we're getting shots away. It works. It works, and that's what I think. I think this year on FM, you don't need a lot of what I'm trying to say. You don't need to be 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. You don't need to be a tiki-taka. If you want to go long ball, you can go long ball. But you've seen it there. If you've got the players who are good enough, if you've got the players who are technical enough and can make the better decisions, even if your tactic, and I'll prove it here, even if your tactic is much more direct and higher and playing for set pieces, they will pass it about. They will run with the ball. They'll do things that maybe they shouldn't do based on what your tactic is, because players on this year's game, the AI, they seem to be a lot more clever, and I feel like because of that, you can be a bit more creative in your tactics and your signings and whatnot. I'm just blowing smoke up my own arse now. But that's it then. We have got Southampton away in 3 days' time in the Carabao Cup, which obviously I will be playing off camera. We will probably play the likes of Delhi. We'll give probably Descott some minutes in there. Unless he wants to play for the under-21s. Yeah, he's going to play in the under-21s to get his match fitness back. But yeah, we're going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you understand and see where we're coming from, and you're happy with the signings, and you can understand why we've moved Raekwon Nelson. Raekwon Nelson out on loan, and the Ashton Gate 8 idea is still the thing. It's still what we want to do. But I think to get out of this division, we need to do what we're doing now, and then we need to adapt. We need to adapt as the save goes on. We can't just keep trying to do the same things and throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. But yeah, a good result, a great performance, a very convincing victory. They didn't really lay a glove on us, bar the odd save from Timo Horn. But is Jordi Cruyff the new Stoke manager? Sorry. Jordi Cruyff is a Stoke manager? What? Oh my God. Stoke Lona is about to become a reality in this save. Holy shit. Well, that is an interesting one for you to keep an eye out on. Oh my God. Jordi Cruyff, really? That is a left field appointment. Goodness me. That is a left field appointment. Anyway, we are going to leave that there as there's a bold Pep regen in the... Tommy Conway signed his deal. In the Championship now, yeah. Christ. They're trying to outdo me pig ball. Anyway, thank you very much for watching episode 12. Definitely episode 12 of the Ashton Gate 8. We will see you all next time, Tuesday's episode. Thank you very much and take care. Bye now.